Hi everyone, it's Rebecca, owner of Holy Rustic, and I'm here to do the pumpkin door hanger with you as promised. Even though I promised it would happen at noon, I am a little late. I guess because it's the first time that I've gone live within the group, so they wanted me to jump through some door hangers. Jump through some door hangers, oh my goodness. Jump through hoops is what I meant to say, but I have door hangers on the mind. Wow. Happy Friday, y'all. Thank God it's Friday, right? Jump through door hangers. Oh my goodness. All right, well, anyways, I'm going to start with just black paint. Anytime I do any kind of rustic look, I always paint my base black, whether it's a door hanger or ceramics. Because then we get that black show through. So I'm just going to do a base coat of black. Now this is one of our kits, but you can do this on any wooden pumpkin. The good thing about our kits is that these lines, we etch these lines into the door hangers, so you have kind of a guide, which makes it a little bit easier. Apparently I picked up some white from last night. Oops. Try to reuse my paint trays, which are egg cartons. And I guess it wasn't dry from our ceramic truck last night. Anybody decorated for fall yet? Or Christmas? I know some people like to get the Christmas stuff out super early. I figure probably especially this year in 2020, because what a mess, right? We all need some Christmas cheer. I can't believe the year's almost over. Time has flown. And I think it's because we've been so restricted that every day feels like Groundhog Day. Yeah, that movie. Has anybody seen that? Classic. So the first time I painted this was a custom order for someone, and she had chosen the colors, the orange and the yellow and the navy. But you can use any 3 colors that you want. I can't seem to get enough black paint here. I don't know if I'm going to change it up or do the same colors I did before. I can't decide. I wasn't sure about that combination at first, but once it was done, I loved it. This navy's kind of one of the in colors this season. Alright, so that's painted black. Now we just need to let it dry. So I'll work on the stem while that's happening. This also, the kit is huge. The wooden pumpkin is about 24 by 18. And this one is a lot smaller. Just for time purposes, I figured it'd be better to have a smaller pumpkin today. Been playing Christmas music since September. I love that. I actually turned on Christmas music last week because one of our local stations has started playing it early. And my husband does not love it like I do. So I have to play it when he's not around. He's one of those, no Christmas anything until Thanksgiving's over. Even this year in 2020. So, but yeah, I can't get enough of Christmas music and all things holiday. Even though fall is my favorite season, as far as the temperature and the weather, but I love all things Christmas. If it was warmer in December, that might be my favorite season. But the cold knocks it out for me. All right, I'm gonna use apple barrel burnt umber on the stem. This is a dark brown. Try not to get mixed colors here. It's one bad thing about reusing paint trays. Is anybody painting with me today? Does anybody have a pumpkin? Alright, so that's super easy. Just brush on some brown, dark brown. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do with the stem, because the rest of the door hanger is so busy. There's so much going on. I don't think it really needs any accents or anything like that. Alright. So this should dry pretty fast because it's small, and I just put a light coat of black on. I'm going to turn this back around to me. What do you think? Should I use navy, brown, and gold like the example? Or I could do orange and blue and like cream or white. I can't decide. Any ideas? I know I want orange for sure, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that ready. It's so nice outside today. I actually have made it outside today. Yesterday I was in the house all day working on orders and class designs. And then I got on live last night, which was probably a bad idea because I was absolutely exhausted. I feel much better today. Although I probably will be painting all day again. So I have a few more classes that I need to get some examples done for. So I just posted the 812 Thankful Pumpkin Serving Tray today. That's going to be our first class in November. At 812, we do it the first Wednesday of every month. So that's one of them I painted yesterday. And I used a palette knife, which is not something I do very often. And I love the palette knife. I didn't think I would, so I avoided it for a really long time. But it totally changes the look of the painting. So if you haven't seen that on Facebook yet, go look at that Thankful Pumpkin Serving Tray. And if you zoom in, you can tell it's not a brush. So some of it was a brush, but a lot of it was the palette knives. I will need 2 of those. What, the pumpkin door hangers? You want to paint them yourself or painted? We have these as kits on our website, but if you're local, you can pick up in our studio. You just need to let me know in advance. So you can shoot us a message on email or Facebook, Instagram, all those places where you can get in touch. Alright, so I'm going to use a pretty big brush again to start brushing this on. So a dry brush technique is where you dip in your paint and then you kind of get all the excess paint off and then you brush it on dry. So the drier your brush, the more of the base color will show through. So depending on how much of that black you want to show through is going to determine how much of the orange paint that you want on your brush. So I might just try it really light and then I may end up going back over it. I think I did 2 coats of orange before. And I'm going to start on both ends. I'm going to do the orange on both ends. I'm just going to brush that on. So see how the orange is almost translucent anyways. It's really hard to get that to cover. So it works out in this situation because I don't want it to cover. But I'm just going to brush that on, and I probably will end up doing a second coat of that. So I'm using the lines that are etched into the pumpkin to help with straight lines. So those are really helpful. Anytime I can etch a design into the wood, I do. So it really helps that we cut our own wood and door hangers. So I have that option. All right, and then I'm going to do the other side and just brush that on. Because these are laser cut, I don't usually paint the edges, so that turns into a whole lot of work, especially on some of the more difficult designs. All right, I think I am going to stick with the navy color. And then I can't decide if I want to do the white, the cream, or I used King's Gold. Right now I have all apple barrel paints, but my favorite is actually deco art. They're just really hard to find around here. I have to drive quite a ways to get them, so most of what I have is the apple barrel. But we are approved to sell deco art now in our studio, so I'm going to gradually be switching over to deco art. I just think it covers better. I just like it a lot better. Alright, so I'm going to use this mountain blue color. So it's not a dark navy, but I think it'll show better. The brighter blue I think will show better on the black, and I may have to mix some white in with it. We'll see how it looks on the door hanger. So I'm just loading up my brush. Oh yeah, I think that'll be good. It's really more solid than I want. I got too much paint. I should have done a dry brush here. Y'all got anything going on this weekend? So nice. Actually, I think it's supposed to rain here. I was gonna say it's gonna be a nice fall weekend and do some fall activities, but it's probably not. Is anybody gonna have good weather and got fun plans? We're supposed to take the kids to the pumpkin patch this weekend, but the weather may stop us. I don't know. They're not really kids anymore, but they still like to go pick their pumpkins. I guess it's one of those things they see as tradition, since we've been doing it since they were little. My kids are big on traditions. They think we need to do the same thing every year for everything, which I don't mind. I think that's good. Alright. So there's the blue. I'm going to switch back to the orange because I forgot to do the other stripe. So there's 6 sections. I do orange on the outside, blue, and then orange and one other color in the middle. I've got brown on my brush for some reason. Let's see. All right, back to orange. So we're gonna add a bow to this too, so I'm not too worried about the lines up by the stem. This thing is driving me crazy. I got this, my mat is flipped up here and it won't stick down and it's in my way. I always cover my surface at home with transfer tape. It's kind of like contact paper. You use it for vinyl projects, and it works great for painting on because you can just wipe it off. So I usually get it pretty messy before I switch it out. Alright, definitely gonna do another coat of orange for sure. I think I'll stick with the gold. I'm gonna use the gold. So I've got King's Gold, Apple Barrel, and with the kits, all these come with it. Actually, I think I have it set up where you can choose your colors. If you order the kits, you can choose your 3 colors. And this one's not even open yet. Oh, here's one that's open. But you do get the paint with it. So you don't even have to go to the store. Got everything you need. Except brushes. Alright, I'm going to grab another brush for the yellow. Got brushes everywhere because we do traveling classes, so I can't ever find my supplies. Alright. So I'll stick with the gold. And it's really like a yellow. But it's not like bright yellow, which is good. And y'all signed up for the lighted pumpkin challenge. Press and seal, that is a good idea. I hadn't thought to use that. I have a similar concept. It sticks to the table okay. That's a good idea. I'm making a mess on my stem up there. Alright, so I'll probably let this dry. I'm going to get a smaller brush and touch this up a little bit after I do the orange again. So that's not bright enough for me, so I'm going to find my orange again. This is Harvest Orange with Apple Barrel. Definitely want the orange to be brighter. That's a little too dark. That's much better. Wipes clean easily. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind. It's probably cheaper than using my transfer tape. But the transfer tape is just something we always have around, so at some point I just ended up picking it up and using it for the tables. We have something similar covering our tables in the studio too. So I used to keep the plastic tablecloths around, and that just got to be a pain, having to switch those out all the time and keep them in stock. So, but yeah, I like the press and seal. I don't use it very often. I don't know why. I don't even think I have any. But I do like it when I have it. I just never think to buy it. Alright. Go. Cute. Alright, I'm going to use the smaller brush to go back over with this gold here. Right on the edges. Making a mess. Wow, the yellow is giving me a hard time here. Alright, go back to my big one. It's really about time to start working on Christmas designs. I feel like people get ready to start making Christmas by November. I think everybody's like over fall crafting. What do you think? Y'all still do fall crafts in November? I feel like I'm always behind. They get Christmas stuff out so early in the stores. Alright, I think I'm happy with that. I like the orange. Might go over the blue a little bit. For this project, I'm going to use baby wipes to help do some blending here in a minute, which is a fun technique now that we can get baby wipes again. There for a while we were out of baby wipes and toilet paper and everything similar. didn't cut words for this. On our example, we have it as, I think it's Hello Pumpkin or Hey Pumpkin or something like that. I can't remember. That was a custom order. But I was thinking about adding just the word welcome or something to this and make it more neutral, I guess. Although I am all things pumpkin, I figured it would be cute just to put welcome on here. I'm going to flip this around real quick. I might try to start doing these craft kits on Fridays just to have a regular time to get on here and do it. My kids are in school, so it's kind of a good time to jump on here. So I think I'm good with that. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to a round brush and find one I like here. And I'm going to do lines. So I'm going to use black, I think. Yeah, I think I'll use black and just cover, excuse me, the lines that are already etched into it, just to give it kind of a divider between each of these sections here. I'll see if I like this one. It's kind of a medium round brush. Alright, so I'm just going to go straight down after I get paint all over me, because I can't have a paintbrush without painting all over myself. That's a given. No, I don't like that one. Let's put more paint on it. Alright, so there's one. I'll load up that brush. It's two. That was super crooked. I'll fix that in a minute. Try not to touch the wet paint underneath. I'm just making a mess. It's a lot easier when I can put my hand down on it. I'm curious what kind of kits do y'all like to do? Do you like the painting kits with the door hangers? Do you like the string art, ceramics? So what would you like to see more of? Because, you know, we're getting ready to do our designs for our Christmas. So everything's fair game right now. Kits are great for adults and kids. Thank you. Glad y'all enjoy them. Don't forget, we just put out the blacklight kits for the kids. And so pre-sketched canvas, and comes with the blacklight paint and the blacklight flashlight. There's a BOGO deal on those right now. I think through the weekend. Can't remember when it expires, but you can use coupon code blacklight to get buy one get one free. And they're $15, so you get 2 flashlights, 2 sets of paint, and 2 pre-sketched canvases for $15. So if you want to keep the kids entertained, I know it's fall break time right now. They'll be home driving you crazy. I have one on fall break this week, actually, and then one on fall break next week. I'm just touching up where I put my fingerprints. I am not good for patience. I don't like to wait till things dry, so I usually end up having to do touch-ups. All right. That's bothering me right there. I'll probably go back and try to touch that up here after it dries. Put some yellow back over it. Okay, so I think while that's drying, I'm gonna go back to my brown and just fix my mess ups here. Like I said, I get in a hurry, so I end up doing more touch-ups, taking more time doing touch-ups than I probably would do if I just slowed down. Anybody else? Find my brown. Again, I'm going to put a ribbon here, so it probably won't matter too much, but I don't like looking at that. I can see your comments, but I can't see your names, so I don't know who's commenting on what. I'm not sure. This is the first time I've used this app inside this group, so I'm still kind of learning about it. I've got it figured out on actual Facebook, but not the group apparently. It's a little different for some reason. I don't know why. All right. Ornaments. Oh yeah, ornaments. That's a good idea. We have I don't know if you saw the live last night for the ceramic truck ornament with the tree in the back of it, but I just ordered some of those, so they will be up soon. We'll have some in the studio and probably some as kits online. So the ceramic ornaments, I haven't decided. I really would like to do some string art ornaments and then maybe some painted ornaments on like wood rounds or something like that. I always have so many ideas in so little time. It's frustrating. I get to a point where I have to kind of pick and choose what it is I want to do, because there's just not enough time in the day or the month or the year. I was just trying to straighten up that black line there, because that's, there we go. Alright, it's coming together. I'm liking it. So this is where the baby wipes are going to come in. I'm going to do, let me put all my brushes in the water here, get them out of the way. Alright, I think that's all the wet ones. So I'm going to flip back over to black and white. Where's my black? There's my black. Let me get some white. And what I'm going to do, I want some black and white kind of rubbed into these sections, and I'm just going to paint on some of the black and white and then take a baby wipe and wipe over it and make sure, and that'll help blend it in. I do want to make sure this is completely dry though before I do that, so I might give it just a minute. I'll work on the bow while that's drying. Alright, so I'm going to push this to the side for a minute. So I'm going to use burlap. I have a ton of ribbons, so I can't ever decide what color I want. I'm trying to think of how I did this last time. Let me size it. I think that'd be good. Maybe a little bigger. Find my scissors. So I'm just going to cut this burlap about the size I want it when it's rolled up. So I'm going to roll it like this. And then I'm going to end up pinching it together. So I just want to make sure this is about the size I want here. I think that's a good size. Could be a little bigger, but normally if I had a stapler, which I don't, I would staple this back side right here just so it doesn't come apart. I don't even know if, all right. And then I think I'm going to use the same ribbon I used on the door hanger. So this is kind of a translucent, it's got little sparkles or specks in it, and it is the wire ribbon. I try to only use the wire ribbon because I like the way you can shape it. So I'm going to use this burlap to size that one. And then I want this to look a little fancier, so I'm going to fold it towards me. So I have the open end facing me. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut an angle on each side. So I'm cutting towards the center of the ribbon. So just an angle on that end. And then same thing over here. I'm going to do an angle on this end. That. So that's just a little, it just gives it a little bit of contrast, not so boring. All right, and then that'll be pinched in the middle as well. And then I have some of this raffia, I think is how you say it. I don't know. I can't ever say it right. But anyways, we have this left over from our pot people class last year, where we did the little pot planters and made them into a scarecrow and a Frankenstein and a snowman. Cat's tearing stuff up. We have a Bengal cat. Some of these are cut too short for me to use. Let me see. Might just have to cut some. I'll just cut my own here. Those ones we cut last year were obviously too short. Let me throw these back in out of the way. Anyways, we have a Bengal cat because we have some cat allergies in the family, and Bengals are part Asian leopard mixed with domestic house cat. So their fur is a lot different than a regular cat. And I've had Bengal cats off and on for 15 years. And they're a lot of fun, but they got a little bit of wild in them. Very vocal animals. Very vocal animals. All right, so I've got this pinched together. I'm going to wrap my twine around the center. Let me move this where you can see it. And then I'm just going to flip it over and tie it. Maybe. Do a double knot. Okay, and I'll flip it over and now just kind of shape it the way I want it. So puff up these burlap edges here. All right, and then we have that. So once we're done with the door hanger, I'll just attach this right here. That'd be cute. All right. So the ribbon's done. Just put this to the side. And I think this should be dry enough now that we can go ahead and mess with it. So I'm just gonna get a small flat brush, if I can find one I like here. So just something small and flat. I'm gonna dip into, let me get my baby wipes out. I'll probably need more than one, we'll see. So I'll just dip into my white and I'm just gonna do some white stripes like this, okay? So I definitely don't wanna keep it that way, but I'm gonna take this baby wipe and I'm gonna kinda rub it on there. And that gives it much more subtle lines. Don't you love that? Looks good. I think that's so fun. I'm gonna put another one right here. Okay, and I'm gonna do that on every section. So just kind of random white lines. And then I'm gonna take it and just rub it in. come back and put some black on that one too so it won't be so bright. What do you think? You like the baby white method? Something different. Alright, a different baby white because the other one's got a lot of paint on it. Ooh. There we go. Put my fingerprints on it again. I don't know what that cat is doing. Making a mess, I'm sure. So the more you rub it, the more blended it's going to be. So if you want really stark or thick lines, you don't have to rub it in very much. Do this last orange one. I just really like the way that looks. It looks really good. Alright. I don't think I'm going to go back over that with black. I might just rub it in real quick. I like the way it looks that way. You can really start to see the black underneath too, so I think it's good. Alright. You can hit those stripes in the middle too if you want to make those a little more subtle. Okay, there we go. So what's left is just the leaves, so we just need to put some leaves on there. Alright, so I'm going to find an angled brush for that. I like to do my leaves with an angled brush. I have one over here, let me see. I need somebody to come in and organize my house for me. My business stuff anyways. I don't even see an angled brush. What did I do with them? Okay, well I'm just going to use a small round one then. I don't know where my angled is. So I'll just use a small round one. I'm going to get some dark green. Here's a deco art color. I think I'm going to use this. This is Hauser dark green. Put that here, and I might get like a little bit of light green too. I think I'll use this. This is Deco Art Desert Cactus, so I'll just get a little bit of that. Maybe. Alright, so I'm going to dip in my dark green and then get a little bit of the sage color. Now I'm going to, I'm trying to remember how I did this. So I'll start in the center and I'm going to do like a half circle like that. If that'll turn out the way I want it to or not. And then another half circle. Okay, so just draw that on, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. It's not a half circle. I'm gonna have to fix that. Well, it's probably all right. So I went a little crazy with my shape here. Could do something more like that. Alright, I'm going to get a bigger brush and fill it in. I'm going to keep dipping in my sage and in my dark green so that there's a little bit of a contrast inside the leaf. That is a terrible brush. Let me switch. See how there's two different colors here? So it kind of blends together and gives it more of a more personality, not just one solid color. I'm gonna put a little more dark green back into it. Turned out a little too sagey. That's even a word. All right, same thing on the other leaf. There you go. You could even do vines if you wanted. I don't know if I'm going to do that because I don't know what word I'm putting in the middle. Actually, I might go ahead and do it. So with the vines, I just found a brush. That one's too thick, I think. I'm going to get something a little bit smaller. So a smaller pointy brush. I'm going to dip in the green. I always like to practice before I do it on the actual door hanger. And you just loop it. I think that's a good size. So I'll dip in both colors again just to get both going on. I'm just going to bring one out here. Let me get some. It's hard to see on that blue. Might do a double loop here. So if I put a word there, it would probably cover some of that up, but that's okay. I'm just going back over it with a little more dark green. So it turned out really light. I could just paint forever. I just keep picking and picking and picking, going back over and doing different things. I'm gonna do another one here. That one was really thick. This was not on the original. I just decided to add it. What do you think? I think it's better with the vines. I like the vines. Might do one more over here. Well, if any of y'all decide to pick up a pumpkin and paint one of these, I'd love to see your finished work. You can post it inside this group. One thing you can do with your door hangers, if it's going to be, outside in the weather, is seal it. I'm trying to think if I have any over here. I don't have any close, I don't think, but there's any kind of spray lacquer for outdoor use. You should be able to spray your door hanger with. It'll last longer. Just make sure you test it before you just spray your whole thing. So I think this is done. What do you think? Like I said, I didn't cut any words, but I think I will cut a welcome word and just put it across the middle. The bow, I'll probably just glue it. I'll probably just glue it down. I don't want to put it on there yet because the leaves are still wet. But to hang it, I usually drill a hole like right in the center and pull some wire through it and twist the wire so that you don't have to worry about it coming unglued. Because sometimes if you just use hot glue or something, your door hanger will fall eventually. So, all right. Well, we're done with our rustic pumpkin door hanger. You can order the kit online if you want to. otherwise, we'll plan on doing this again next Friday. I'm trying to think. Actually, I think I have a class next Friday. We might have to do it a little bit earlier, but I'll shoot for Friday. I'll be out of town with my other daughter next week on her fall break, so things are going to be a little off schedule. But we'll see what we can fit in next week with one of our new kits. I'll try to get on here and teach you how to do it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for painting with me. Appreciate it. And y'all have a great weekend.